What's up, yins guys? I'm going to try to do this video here as a replacement for an old ass video I did in 2012. I was reminded of it because I had a stupid comment on it. So I liked the topic and it got a lot of views, but old ass video and from my old ass home. I made a comment to him. I said, you know what, I need to take that old ass video down. But from fucking 2012, I liked the topic, but there's things I could have done better. Yeah, I made references to Henry Rollins, like the wrath of the motherfucker. You know, it says something was El Nino. They should call it the motherfucker, which is the truth. And I've been seeing on the TV news, you know, forest fires, earthquakes in places where there weren't normally earthquakes. A lot more floods in places now, and every place there was water, it's drying up, and now in some places there's too much water. And you had some places now I've been seeing on the news where there was a big drought every so many years. There's so often there's like nothing but a drought, and then and then it can cause forest fires because things are so dry. And then, but yet that geographical area, it's known to have droughts like it cause fires, and then it's also known for, after it's dry so long, big cloudbuster of rain comes, torrential rain, and when the torrential rain happens, all that dry dirt just causes mudslides and landslides that crush buildings and are killing people. Yeah, we had some things that we're doing. It's a double-edged sword. You know, people need cars and gasoline. They need natural gas, or they're going to freeze to death. Yet, you know, the fracking causes earthquakes. They're injecting water underneath the ground, you know. Then you have, you know, the coal mines underneath, things that used to be mines. Coal mines could be under places, and all of a sudden you get sinkholes and shit caving in, you know what I mean? Then you got even like nuclear power. You know, Japan a bunch of years ago almost had a Chernobyl because they had an earthquake at a nuclear plant. There was trouble there. But even though you got your environmentalists, they're saying, oh, we're causing all kind of things in global warming. It could be kind of true. I'm partial to it. But at the same time, hey, the global warming was going on before dawn of time. You had ice age glaciers, your lakes that were caused by, you know, glaciers, and then it got hotter, and then things that used to be lakes become deserts, and it's totally dries up because any of you people believe in the Bible, and you believe that there were Roman soldiers and Assyrians, and believe that there were Persians and all that shit, whether you're religiously fanatical or not. Yes, there were Romans, Persians, Egyptians. There were places that the world was changing then, things that were full of like water, and people were able to farm, you know, turned into deserts because things got hotter. The world, some people say we're getting closer to the sun, but the world is also shifting in certain ways too. Different things are happening. Even though you're not an environmentalist fanatic, there are some shit that we got to worry about. Population getting bigger. And every single, for example, if 10 people take a shit in the middle of a parking lot, it's a POW, and then picture a whole town full of people take a shit right in the middle of this parking lot. That's going to be a big pile of shit. And then say your whole state, say if people live in your whole state or whatever, or county, all takes a shit in one same place. That's going to be a big pile of shit. You know what I mean? There was one time we used to dump our shit in the rivers, and we realized we couldn't do that anymore. So you had these sewage treatment plants that take the turds out of the damn water and put it in the truck, send it to a landfill. You know, we have plastic bags, you know, everything we use, products, plastic bottles, you know, they're finding their way into oceans. People were trying to recycle. That's another thing I saw on the TV news. I want to talk about that. People were trying to recycle, the recycling plastic. I worked in stuff like that. I was blown away to big piles of plastic. How much of that alone just gets sent away, and then you compress it in a cube, compress cardboard into a cube, and send it out to be recycled. But I saw on the TV news now with all the different shit going on now, there's countries that we were sending our recycled plastic to, which very much disappointed me. You know, I thought I kind of felt good that things were being recycled because They found out they want to fucking send it all back. The countries are accused and say our country, and I think other countries of just dumping it on them. And they're shutting companies that process it down. So evidently, somewhere along the line, there was people that desperately wanted to start a business, but yet at the same time, I guess it's not profitable enough. I don't know. But yeah, on our TV news, and I worked in a scrapyard once. Metal is needed. Aluminum and aluminum cans, engine parts, metal and steel. Uh, Metal alone, big piles. I worked in a scrapyard, which that reflects a lot of my fitness videos too. Some people, the videos that I make, try to say I'm some loser, just oh, I should need to find a job. Fuck, all of my fitness jobs reflect either near the area or around the area, either on the way to or outside of work I do, like construction or cleanup or demolition cleanup, you name it. I do job assignments. So uh, anybody that says that, fuck you right offhand. You know what I mean? But since I've worked in certain environments like that, I mean, I kind of wanted to believe in it that I'm seeing on the news. Uh, Getting disappointed because it's not even working out. You don't want to not recycle, but now there's been trouble with it. What the fuck are we people going to do? And there's like, if you want to talk about recycling of, which I can do a total video on the pros, what pros of cons of recycling. Since there's more online sales of things, everything's being shipped online. The production of cardboard is being put out there faster than people can recycle it. Every place you worked, you have some kind of baler which they put cardboard, we're required to put cardboard in cubes, compressed into cubes. If you work in a Walmart, you work in a grocery store, there's a lot of people that are baling their cardboard. And yeah, people want to send that back. It's sent to other countries, and I saw on the news, they want to send it all back, but you got like 3 and 4 story malls that are being vacant and closing up, turning barren now. If you want to look on YouTube about those, there's wonderful YouTube channels now I'm seeing about like Exploring with Josh and people that explore abandoned buildings, and you're learning that it's getting on our TV news too. 3 and 4 story malls are closing up because people are ordering online, right? And a lot of ordering online, and big increase of cardboard being thrown away that has to be recycled. So even though they're compressing into cubes, a lot of recycling, all kind of businesses, right? More is being put back out there faster than it can be put into cubes and being recycled, and it's causing that people can't keep up with it. And there's a constant quest to keep this recycling, try to make it profitable. I mean, there's a lot of places that recycling is mandatory because of different concerns, and all that. But yet, people are trying to get out of it. They're trying to make it profitable, and it's not always completely profitable because the recycling has its costs, and you're actually using certain energy to recycle it, but you don't want to not do nothing. So, and then like I said too, if I want to go on with the other shit I was saying, a whole state full of people or a whole country people can take a shit all in the same place. It's a big pile of shit. That's a hell of a pile of shit, our own shit. And there are people I saw on the History Channel, you can look it up, for J.P. Morgan was actually pushing certain inventors to create a gasoline engine. Did you know that gasoline, before we're having wars over it and oil now, gasoline used to be dumped in the river. You know what I mean? So too bad they couldn't find a way to make, I don't know, they're trying to find ways to make a, what do you call a fungus or a fungi or a bacteria that'll eat plastic now, or to try to biodegrade things faster, all kind of shit you're hearing about. And yeah, when you have the weather patterns, too, with different weather and floods, all things that are garbage, whether it's garbage they're thrown away, gets washed around in them floods. And when a flood subsides, it's everywhere. And then when you have floods, right, that shit gets washed out in the ocean. But yet, with or without the stuff that they say everybody is doing, causing global warming, we had global warming before there were factories, because you could see moments in history, like whether you're a religious fanatic or not, I think You look at different cultures, you can tell that places that used to be water, you had ice age and you had glaciers that caused lakes, weather heated up, and then there were places that are now desert used to be lakes and rivers and seas that just dried up. You know what I mean? And now you got some places that are like, yes, you have different places. I watched that TV show River Monsters, or there's an increase, not just some other areas too. I forget. I don't want to be incorrect about this. There were other places other than polar, like some other mountains. I think Himalayan or something. Things are changing now, and I think crocodiles are coming in places that normally crocodiles didn't, because there was high mountains near certain places. I don't know if it was Himalaya or near. I have to look at the map. You'd have to look at it. I don't be totally incorrect, but certain areas they were talking about um, shit melting now, and it's causing floods. And that's one thing I wanted to say now. I said online too. In our country, you got places that are so fucking dry, but you got some places that are like flooding all the time. Too bad we couldn't have somebody, the oil rich people, invest and create this pipeline across somewhere where places that flood all the time, pump that water out somewhere, like some main place, like in a certain town, right? It's just an idea where they can pump it out of their town, right? Try to target particular towns and places that flood all the time, have some kind of pipe going on, and it floods all the time. Send a pipeline. That's a lot of a long ass pipeline. It wouldn't be totally. The idea would be there's a lot of flaws in it, but on the top of my head, you almost wish you could do it. Pipe that, pump it out into place from places that flood all the time, right? Pipe it out to the places that are so fucking dry and reservoirs are drying up. You know what I mean? So people can get that like to their crops. They're drying out, but and maybe solve that problem where places that are flooding, you're seeing on the TV news that's flooding now, and it's almost July. Corn should be knee high in July. Instead, their farm is flooded. They have no corn. It's like get some kind of pipeline somewhere, but the only trouble with that, you can have a pipeline in a particular area. How do you? I mean, if you can target a particular area where it's flooding all the time, maybe you won't get all the places, but you may not be able to get them all, like a plumbing system that pipe it out the same way they do the same fucking way they have pipelines for petroleum. Okay, use it for like a water line where, because water can be just as important, if not more important these days than petroleum, because people need it to drink, people need it to wash their clothes. But maybe you can't drink it all the time, but people need to grow their crops and different things like that. People purify water all the time, too, in tanks, so that places that are too dry, these farmers over here could grow their grapes for their wine and for their other stuff, you know what I mean, too. Farming, petroleum is a big resource, because people still have cars and people have this or that, and trucks that people are able to ship your groceries to your Walmart. But at the same time, hey, water is a big thing that you should be able to water. Why don't they have water lines like that, just like petroleum, where you can take, hey, like, how people drill for oil. Hey, there's some places over here that flood all the time. It's too rich in water. And there's places that don't have enough of water. Maybe there's engineers thinking about it, and it was put on the table. Who the hell knows? But yeah, you got like a big ass problem going on there. You know what I mean, too. But just a thought.